So folks that are going to be joining with us here shortly, Kevin is reassembling this 6.2 liter, right? LS3. This is the one that's in Pete's 34 Ford, the primered one. This is the engine that has the LT5 Corvette cylinder heads that have been modified quite a bit. And as soon as Pete's done with the grinder, Kevin can talk about what he's doing here. In a second. Yeah. We'll wait.
It'll be hours.
Yeah. So this should be done pretty soon. Kevin's kind of setting up the timing. So what are you going with it right now?
I'm dialing in the intake cam on this motor right now. I do it by basically the lobe centers. I've done this several times before, and I just go max lift, see where that is, and then 100,000 short of that on either side is where I degree it to.
So this is on the lobe right now.
Yeah, and so that's 100,000 for max left. I'm at
I'll come around this way.
52 degrees on the degree wheel.
Okay, so 52 degrees on the degree wheel.
And then I go to basically 100,000 on the other side. About 162 there.
So 162.
Yeah. So.
Kevin's phone's ringing at the same time, so.
No, that's 53 plus 162 and divided by 2. So my lobe center line is at 107.5, which is supposed to be 108, so it's
Within tolerance?
1.5 degrees.
So you're good.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
So now do you just lock this and now you do the exhaust now?
That's one I'll have to do the intake on that side, and then I'll do the exhaust.
And this is an all new timing belt setup because unfortunately the timing belt broke, right?
The timing belt break and messed up all the valves.
So what did you have to do
Well,
differently?
we did what happened on the other way the setup. We were going underneath the water pump, and so we only had about 90 degrees of engagement on the sprocket here, and we had one belt turning all 4 cams. So we just feel that that's not enough engagement, plus the loads of all 4 cams
Yeah.
was too much for the belt to handle. And I think what happened is it actually skipped a tooth and then broke when it skipped the tooth, the valve hit and it broke
So you had to redo the cylinder heads and now how's the water pump gonna work on this?
Well, this is a regular Chevy, like old Chevy water pump. So it'll go, we made these little adapters that go through the
Pulley, right?
pulley. There's a bearing right here, and then the shiv on here, and then we will.
So
have
folks,
a
so the
regular
folks
water
could really
pump.
understand this. So the water from the water pump is going through the center of the bearing.
Yeah, that's.
Pretty trick.
But that allowed us to get almost a full 180 degrees of wrap here.
Yeah.
So we're a little bit short.
And you guys have done that water pump deal a few times, right?
Yeah,
On a few different
Cal's
engines.
on the motor that's in Cal's car.
Oh, Pete has the.
These are some adapters that we made earlier. They let you put a Chevy water pump on an LS block, the old
Okay.
Chevy water pump. The problem is then the heads, on the LS heads, their water comes out the block, not out the head.
Okay.
These heads, the water comes out the top, out of these right here. Just like a regular small block Chevy.
And this is what you guys, Kevin, you made this, right? To
Yes.
adapt to the LT5 cylinder head to a standard. That looks like a Weber pattern or something like
Well,
that.
we did. We originally,
Okay.
he was going to try to they make fuel injection that uses
But
Weber's,
it's got individual
Weber
rubber.
bolt pattern.
Yeah.
Too.
But we ended up making a different intake.
You saw that.
Yeah. So I'm just showing some of the folks live right now that are watching. So, and there's your water pump there. Okay, I got it. So, it's another day in the office for Kevin and Pete.
Yeah.
This is a Friday wrap up.
I don't know if I'm going to wrap it today.
He won't be wrapped up, but
side.
Okay.
The problem with this motor is gonna be, you know, like say I had to jump this thing 2 teeth to get it to come in right, and now I gotta check this, and then the real problem is gonna be the exhaust, because it's behind the intake.
Okay. Looking cool. How's the V12 coming along? Where are you at on that, on the 5 liter?
The bottom end is back together, other than we have a little bit of damage on a couple rods, so we're
Okay.
waiting to get those back. And then the heads are ready to go back on.
So we got 2 weeks, 3 weeks before you got 3 weeks before the next race.
Well, it's the 21st. Right?
Yeah. Well, 21 days.
Yeah.
So, and then that you're going to run the nitrous on it.
Yeah.
Pete has some unique
This is
components
just a
here.
manifold we made. These go like this. It's got 2 of these. They go
They cross over.
kind of like that.
That's awesome.
One of them.
Yep. And then the other one's over here.
Here, like that.
I got it. Okay.
That's got thrust.
Pretty cool. It's kind of like a Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
Uses all kinds of different parts. Ford throttle bodies.
We don't have the part, we make it.
Yeah.
Everything was an LS block with a Corvette head.
Yeah.
Chevrolet makes this engine now. Well, they were making it.
Yeah.
They sold it to the road shop. It was similar, but not.
So once Kevin gets this dialed in, right, we can dress the rest of the motor, put it back in the car, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't had a car for like 2 months now.
Yeah. Pete's been without a car. He's having to drive a Dodge Ram pickup truck. It's hard for him.
These belts and these tensioners were a real pain in the butt.
Yeah.
And now we've got to get this. Hopefully you can help us on that.
Yeah. So we can maybe show them it's right in here, the cam sensor.
We got this.
So
It's weird how this is not even near this, though. And this is dialed in perfect right now. So I don't know what was here.
This goes here.
So yeah, and so this is so we're running. So folks know, because it's live right now, that we're running a Holley Terminator X fuel injection system on this, and it's looking for the reference for the camshaft position sensor, and that's been a little tricky because you can see we had to make the tone wheel for it, or Kevin made the tone wheel for it, so it's a falling rising 180 degrees. It looks kind of ratty. It needs to be painted again. But then this is a sensor which will pick up that.
This used to be up here, right?
Yeah, but getting it synchronized is very tricky because on a production engine, the cam sensor and the crank sensor are always in the same spot. As long as you got your timing chain, that TDC, right, your marks, you're going to be in sync. But in this case,
Well, I think
it's not.
cam sensors on this are here.
Originally, it was there. Yeah. The difference is that the Holley is looking for a falling rising, and that's a different pattern. But yeah, it's a different pattern. So, but it can be done.
Well, that's the tricky part. All that stuff is the tricky part.
Yeah. So we got a couple.
Getting these tensioners in here. The only place we can tension the belt is on the loose side of the belt.
Yeah.
Is between here and here. You can see all this gingerbread we've got.
You got
this
some.
This is an idler, right? The water goes through the idler, the same as over here. But then we got a tensioner down here, and we got this tensioner for the other belt.
So you got Rod, the guy Rod from Australia. He's always on these, and he's saying good morning from Australia. So
Good
that's
morning,
Rod.
Rod.
Yeah, it's Rod. And you got James Nash from the Virgin Islands, and yeah, I don't know where the rest of the folks are, but plenty of folks are saying hi.
Everybody in San Diego.
Ray,
out
Brad,
there.
yeah, it's happy hour in San Diego right now. So. Yeah, just another day in the office.
It's a real challenge.
It is.
Almost as bad as that flathead we made. We made an overhead cam
Yeah.
head, a pair of heads for a flathead. It's in the museum now.
Yeah, the one in Nebraska.
Right, you did a video on it.
Yeah. pretty cool. All right. Well, oh, you got somebody, I think it's Gaddy. He's saying good evening or good morning from the Netherlands. So you got somebody from the Netherlands. So it's kind of closer to your,
Well, my dad is from Friesland, which is Holland.
okay, from
Northern
Holland.
yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So Pete likes to see that, so thank you from far away. That's Kevin's flat plate for the dial indicator. For the magnet, yeah. Well, it sounds pretty good. Well, folks, we just want to give you a 10-minute update. That's it. Oh, we got one more. We got Brad from Melbourne, Australia, too, saying hello. So quite a lot of people worldwide. So this is cool. But
There's one of my overhead cam kits, Chevy kits, in Melbourne.
in Melbourne,
Yeah.
is that in like in a museum or in
No,
somebody's
it's in
car
some
or
hot rod shop called Barbie Lane or something like that.
Barbie Lane in Melbourne? Yeah.
And
That's
then there's another one up in Brisbane.
yeah. And then we got Go Fast from Boring USA, he said, but you know, it's all right, man. We're in USA. We're not boring. This is fun. We got a larger variety of beers across the country.
Gearhead.
Yeah, gearheads. Few of them left, but we got a few. They're right here. You're looking at them. You're looking at a couple dinosaurs, but they're still good. They're still cranking away. Now all the gearheads that we have in San Diego are building electric vehicle conversions.
This
So
is definitely a electric. This was a hard one. This belt for a hard one.
We're gonna put an overhead camera on a Prius motor.
yeah, they're gonna do. Well, it already has an overhead cam. My Prius has 2 cams. What are you talking about?
It has three cam.
Two cams on the
Twin
Prius.
cam?
Yeah, on the Prius. Yeah. By the way, folks, I get in trouble because I'm hanging out with Pete and Kevin in their high horsepower engines, and I drive a Prius for my daily commuter. So, but one thing I never have to do is I never have to work on my car. I just have to wash it every once in a while and put gas in it. That's about it. But
Seems to me I remember you playing with electrons on that thing.
yeah, I like buying $1,000 Priuses and seeing how long I can make them run. All right, there you go. Yeah, like 70 people watching right now.
How many?
70.
Whoa.
Yeah. Everybody's watching you.
Well, you do that next YouTube on Mirage last week.
Yeah, so I still got to get that YouTube video out of the El Mirage race. And so, guys, stay tuned for that because that's going to be a cool little video seeing the car scream down the track at top RPM. All right, I'm going to sign out for real this time, everyone. But thank you, guys. Stay tuned. Thanks for checking in with us, and we'll try and give you another update here. And someone else said hi here. That's Ampom said hi, and Peter said looking good, and Greasy Finger Boy said howdy. So thank you, you guys. We'll catch up with you later.
Thank you.